So my daughter prefers to be over here most of the time. It's a very interesting situation because my son and my daughter, it's very opposite at this point. My son doesn't want to see me for up until recently some unknown reason. My daughter wants to be with me, and she doesn't want to be with her mother. So she stays here most of the time, and my son stays at his mom's most of the time. She's angry with her, he's angry with me. A mirrored situation, different circumstances, I guess, but similar, because my son blames me for my daughter being away from her mother. Their mother has a bad habit of allowing her feelings, anger, jealousy, of letting it all out in front of the kids. Whether she be on the phone complaining to a relative or a friend, or she's sitting at the ballpark and the kids are sitting next to her and she's gossiping to her friends and the other moms and dads, or just complaining in general out loud, or to her husband or whatnot. Problem is she's doing it out loud, allowing my son to hear all of it, and he's having to take on that burden, and he's also gathering ideas in his mind, and he sees mom is angry with dad because she thinks dad is driving his sister away, because she does blame it on me. She completely blames it on me that our daughter is very independent. She doesn't want anything to do with her mom. She doesn't want anything to do with her mom because they argue all the time. Sure, she has her ways, and she's very strong-headed, my daughter. And she snaps back, and she says words, and she does anything and everything a typical teenager does. That requires a disciplinary action. That requires some kind of corrective action. But it goes way beyond that, and that's yet another story. It goes way beyond that. They don't talk. They can't communicate. It always turns into an argument, and it always turns into hatred toward each other. But the problem is, on her mother's side, she projects feelings of jealousy, hatred, bitterness. All these feelings and all these emotions that shouldn't be involved in dealing with your children on a level of discipline. All these things that create a cycle that can never be broken. She blames me because I give her freedom as long as I feel it's within the correct bounds. If she's earned it, then why not? Let her go out and have some fun. As long as she's being safe, she's doing the right thing. And me and her mother differ in that aspect. Her mother is the type of person that's very fearful, scared of everything. She likes to keep the children in a bubble. They have gone to private school in the past. They have been very close physically and emotionally with their mother. She keeps them very, very, very close. They don't really know what the world is all about. And you've got to, as a parent, one of your jobs are to balance that out. Keep them safe, but also give them a little slack, because they've got to learn how to be independent adults. And that starts in childhood. I want that more than anything for my children. And the moment I started doing that is the moment their mother started pointing the finger and saying, this is all your fault. You give her all she wants, and you let her do whatever she wants and run the streets. My son witnesses every breakdown, every negative comment, every bash session. Their mother may be on the phone, she may be talking to her husband, she may be talking to a friend, she may be somewhere out and about talking to somebody face to face. But she has no qualms about doing this right in front of him. And he's soaking it all in. And I found he's the type of kid that he may be chilling in one room, watching TV, playing video games, but his ear is in another room, listening to what the adults are talking about, listening very carefully, very closely, word by word. He's listening to his mom, to her conversations. He's watching her facial expressions, her body language, watching, listening, soaking it all in, and processing it with his 12-year-old mind. He's mad at Dad. He blames me for Alex being gone. Why do I know this? I called him the other day. I said, hey, how's it going? What do you want? It's what I've been getting. What do you want? And so just checking up on you. You know, you've been out of town, seeing how that went. You know, you're back in town now. Just wanted to see if you wanted to come over this week. No, I really don't want to come over, you know. And he starts getting snippy with me. And, you know, of course, most of our conversations, he's getting snippy with me. He's being rude to me. He's telling me that I am not to talk to him a certain way. It should be the other way around. And it ends up being a correcting session instead of a happy conversation. You know, I ignore a lot of it, and there's only so much you can ignore before you just have to. They're your kids. You have to correct them, no matter what. They have to know who's boss. But there's a right one, wrong way of doing it. So our conversations, you know, always go south. And he says to me the other day, you know, it's like, you know, it's not healthy for you to be away from your family over here. You got your dad, you got your stepmom, your sister's over here, and you got your little baby sister who's growing up fast and you're not seeing a whole lot of her. And I know you love everybody over here. We love you and we miss you. And in this very angry voice, he says, what about my sister? You know, do you think it's healthy that she's away from Mom? And I said, no. And he said, well, what are you doing about it? You know, I told him, look, you know, it's unfortunate that this has been made your business. I said, don't take this the wrong way, but it's not your business. It's adult business. You need to worry about having a great summer. Not even worry about anything. You need to concentrate on having a great summer, having a good time while you're out and about. You don't need the burden of all these adult worries, all these adult issues. And he hangs up on me. And it's not the first time he's indicated that. You know, every time I bring up the subject to his mother, you know, it's a valid concern. Hey, our son isn't wanting to come over, and it's becoming worse and worse and worse. He's becoming more angry with me. I can't figure out why. While he's here, all we do is try to love him and give him exactly what he needs. And that's what we do. With what little time we have with him, what else can we do? But give him the best, be the best for him, and that's it. When I bring that to her attention, all she says is, well, what about our daughter? What are you doing to get her to correct her behavior and want to come over here and see me again? I said, I wasn't talking about her. We can have that conversation, but I wasn't talking about her. I was talking about her son. Oh, this has everything to do with him. It's a tit for tat in her mind. Because our daughter doesn't want to see her, she blames it on me. Therefore, she, my ex-wife, believes that I should endure what I'm enduring with my son. Because she's being hurt by her daughter, it's okay for me to be hurt by her son. No, it's not. That's not the way it should work. And that's just one form of parental alienation I'm experiencing at this very moment. There are many other stories and many other instances of parental alienation that I've experienced over the years. I'm going to wrap this up by saying, those of you that may be going through a divorce, those of you who've been divorced and are going through a hard time still, maybe been divorced for a very long time, and your children are adults now, and you still feel the remnants of, of what happened during that divorce. Just, keep in mind it's always about the kids. When you became parents, you just knew, if you weren't already told. It's not about you anymore. It's about the kids. Solely about the kids. You put yourselves aside. You put your selfishness, needs, wants, desires. Those really all go aside. And those become last on your list when your children become first. Having a child is a very unique experience. And having a child will easily, for the right people, make you want to put them first and realize what comes first and what goes last. That doesn't go away even after you divorce. You still have to keep the kids in mind. They still come first. Divorce brings out the worst in people. It can intensify the ugly monster you may have inside on both sides, the mother and the father. Sometimes it's very difficult to control, and you have to keep it under wraps, and you have to know what's best. And what's best is becoming friendly, putting your bitterness aside, truly putting your bitterness aside. Don't hold it in your heart. Truly putting your bitterness aside, your hatred, your revenge, feelings of revenge, whatever negative feelings you may have for the other person, it's time to let it go. Because those kids will be affected by every last bit of it. And you will damage them every step of the way that you're trying to damage that other parent. As the kids love each of you just the same. Everything you do affects them. Positivity, negativity, and everything in between. I'm going to leave you with this. Like this video and subscribe. I've got more videos coming. You'll see more sections build up in D&B vlogs here. Got a big story to tell. Also got a weight loss program thing coming up, and some other new ideas that I hope to throw on my vlogs page very, very soon. So always keep in mind, it's one positive thought that can turn your life around. So until next time, thank you for joining me, and thank you for listening.